Hey guys, it's Morgan coming back to you with another video. This one's going to be different. This is a little story time slash cautionary tale slash instructional. Anyway, this video is about how I got hacked, hijacked, deleted, and then reinstated the YouTube channel that you are watching right now. If that does not sound interesting at all, then just skip on past this video, don't worry. But if you are interested just in the story, that's great. Also, if you're coming here because you saw the thumbnail and whatever, I am here to hopefully give you some advice on how to keep this from happening and also how to retrieve your channel if you do have it happen. The way this thing's gonna work out is we're gonna tell the story of how I got hacked, what happened, you know, how that looked and whatever, how I responded and what that looked like. Then we're gonna talk about what I did to reach out to YouTube and get the channel back. And then we're going to talk about what I'm now doing to prevent that from happening, and then what maybe you can do. Okay guys, so here's the deal. Channels my size, and around the 20,000 subscriber mark, depending on when you're watching this, as we're getting close to that. Hopefully, you know, some of you guys are watching this. We got way more than that, but are prey to hijackers, hackers, whatever, because we are at a certain threshold for Google that we don't have as much security around our channels. And also we are growing quickly and getting lots of solicitations for sponsorships and things like that. A lot of them are not real, some are real, and we get really excited because we've worked so hard on this channel to grow it. We are prey for these people. So here's what happened. I've been getting tons and tons of fake solicitations for sponsorship for months now, as the channel's growing quickly and all that good stuff. And I pride myself on being pretty skeptical and like not paying attention to a lot of them. And the ones I do pay attention to, I look at closely and delete whatever. And then we've had some legitimate ones that are, you know, mostly from the industry, the motorcycle industry, things like that. What happened was I got a very real looking solicitation from a company called Bethesda Game Systems, or Bethesda anyway, who is a real company. Now, I will let you guys know it was not Bethesda Games that did this, but that is a real company. They did a very good job of disguising themselves as that. And they wanted me to do a spot on one of the videos about a new game coming out. I'm not a gamer, but I know a lot of YouTubers are sponsored by gamers, so I was like, well, that's interesting, let's take a look. So I go look, and I do what I think is enough due diligence to find out that yes, Bethesda is real. Yes, the game that they're talking about is coming out this January. It's a real game. They've had tons of hit games in the past, and I figured, well, you know, I'm not a gamer, I don't really like video games, but why not? You know, we'll take their money, and some of you guys might be interested in that, so okay. Great, so I say, yes, I'm interested. And again, I'm staying skeptical the whole time because this world is full of not nice people. So they respond quickly, say, okay, great, here's our list of criteria that you have to meet. And they give me this very structured, very professional list of what we would have to do, like the length of the spot on the video, the length of the video, what we talk about, the talking points, all the good, you know, whatever. I mean, it was very, very professional. I was like, okay. I've had other ones that send me stuff like, we'll give you, you know, we'll give you $500, you do this. And I'm like, that's awfully easy. So this one was very much professional. And all of the logos, everything looked so good. So, and at the end of that email, they said, what is your price to do this? So I shot them a price. And I shot high because, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this for nothing. Why not? And they got back to me. They said, that sounds great. Please make the video. And when you make the video, don't release it to the public yet. Send us a copy and we will approve or disapprove of it. And then we can go from there. And then when we decide on the video being right and the spot being right on the video and all this good stuff, we will pay you and then you can release the thing. And I said, well, how are you going to pay me? Because this is where I thought I was going to get scammed. If someone was going to get scammed, was at my bank account. Because I'm like, I'm not giving my bank account information to anyone. So that was like what I was protecting, was my bank account, my money, right? I wasn't worried about the channel. So, because I didn't think the channel meant much to anyone except for me and hopefully you guys who watch these videos. But so anyway, I'm like, I'll just have them send me a check. Even if I post a video that gets a bunch of views and it has their spot on it and then the check bounces, big deal. You know, worst case, I take the video down, edit it off, put it back. You know, it's not that big a deal, right? So I'm thinking, you know, I'm not, like I said, no bank account information. They said, oh, we'll pay you however you want. Let's just get to that point. I'm like, okay, great. Like, oh, and by the way, and this is where they got me, here is a copy of the early release of the game. You can download and play to see if you're interested. I was like, huh, that seems a little fishy, but I looked at the URL, I looked at everything, it was in a Dropbox account and everything, and I thought, okay, but I still didn't trust it, so I didn't want to put it on this computer back here because it's my editing computer with all the information, with all the hard drive hooked to it, and so I brought it to the shop computer, which is up front. It's a PC, it's got antivirus on it and everything, and I try to download it. Antivirus catches it, says no dice. I said, all right, boom, there we go. Shut it all down, delete everything. And I try to email them back. They don't email me back. I'm like, oh, it was a scam. Okay, great. Well, we caught them. Big deal, right? Obviously, that deal was smarter than normal, and it was able to sneak past the antivirus or whatever, because that next morning I woke up with a million, not literally, but a ton of notifications from Google about my two-step authentication and all this stuff, and, you know, middle of the night. And then by that morning at about 7, I tried to log in and everything was locked down. And that's the other thing. I thought I was safe because I had two-step verification on Google, on YouTube, on everything. I really, really felt safe, even though I was going down a path that I thought I had this like twinge in my soul about. And I thought, well, we're safe. We got all this protection. We're good. Turns out, absolutely not. They made it through all that stuff. They took over the channel. They posted as like Tesla something. If you guys saw it, I apologize for that. I'm really, really sorry that you guys saw that. I know it was for some of you, you unsubscribed, and thank you for coming back. I appreciate that, but it was a huge mess. So I started freaking out, as you can imagine, and there's nothing I could do. I couldn't get to the channel. They had run this live feed, and I was just sick to my stomach. So I started doing some research on YouTube, which I'm assuming some of you guys have landed on my page because of that. And I find that the only way to get to YouTube or Google is on Twitter. Like, there is no way, no how on YouTube or Google through the normal channels to get to a human. So I reach out on Twitter, and this is legit, guys. I'm telling you right now, go to Team YouTube on Twitter. If you have this issue, go to Team YouTube on Twitter, tag them in a post, say, I got hijacked, hacked, whatever you want to call it, all the hashtags, whatever you got to do to make it stand out. And they got back to me right away. I couldn't believe it. Within like minutes, it was less than an hour, they got back to me, said, hey, we're so sorry. Please DM us. We'll get a hold of you. I'm going to shorten this part of the story because it was a lot of back and forth. It took a long time. But basically, I got them the information they needed. They wanted the login, the original login. So I got them that, which I could not get into. The Google account was gone too. So I sent them that. They got back to me. They said, we need your actual channel ID, which is not youtube.com/Highland Cycles. That's a custom URL that I got to choose when I hit a certain number of subscribers. There's a channel ID behind that. And let me tell you guys right now, if you have a channel, find that ID right now. It starts with UCC or UC or something like that. Save that somewhere safe that's not like hackable, right? Like you want that somewhere else. And I don't know what you got to do. I've got my version of it now. It's in a note, handwritten note that anyway. I also have it saved digitally in a different application that's super password protected, but you need that channel ID. And without that channel ID, there is no way you're getting your channel back. And I will tell you, I did not have that channel ID, and it took me forever to figure out how to get it. And this is where I want to jump in with the Jesus part of this. And I know a lot of you guys are not believers, a lot of you guys are believers, but I want to tell you right now that I really, truly believe that without God, there's no way I would have found all the information that Google needed to get me my channel back. I'm not a computer person. I don't understand how to find URLs and all that stuff. I don't get any of it. I really don't. So in talking to the people at Team YouTube, they say, I've got to find it. I'm like, I don't know how to find it. I just no idea. So they said, well, go back in your browser history, blah, blah, blah. So I go back in the browser history. I find a point at some point in the past where I had gone to my channel, but it just says Highland Cycles. It doesn't say the channel ID. And as I'm freaking out and I'm losing my mind and I'm like, I'm never going to get this back, I accidentally, and I'm not kidding, I accidentally right-clicked on the link. And then a little box shows up and it says inspect. I'm like, what's that? So I hit inspect. This is on a Mac. I don't know if it works on PCs, but it's on a Mac. I hit inspect and boom, on the right side of the screen is all this code, like computer code that I do not understand at all, whatever. Like and it was a total accident that I hit the right click. And I'm like, huh. So I start reading through it, and sure enough, I find youtube.com/channel/UCC blah. And there it is. There's my channel ID. I couldn't believe it. Well, what do I do now? They're like, here's a link, and you can get to a person. So they send me a link. I go to the link. It takes me to a place where I can click help for a chat window. Brings up a chat window. I'm like, with a human. And I'm like, first in line. I can't believe it. I'm like, yes. So I get in line. I get the person. I send them all this information. They're super helpful once you get to that point. They're like, yeah, we see something happen with your channel. We're so sorry about that. Here's what you need to do. So they send me a link to a form, which if you watch any of these other YouTube, I got hacked videos, you'll see you got to get to this form. It's really hard to get to. I get to the form. I fill it out best I can. They get back to me. They say, actually, Morgan, you mistyped something or something's not right. You didn't get something right. It doesn't match. I'm like, So I go back. I do the whole right-click inspect thing. I realize that I've mistyped the channel ID because I hand wrote it at first. And anyway, so I put that back in. And then I email them because they gave me a special email that I could, can correspond with them on. I email them. I don't know how, like 5 or 6 links to original videos of mine that were like the most recently uploaded videos that I could find the actual video ID with the whole right-click inspect thing. Send them that. I send them my Facebook address. Like I send them my Facebook URL so that they can see that and they can scroll down and see that those were my videos that I was promoting. I sent them a screenshot of the videos. I did everything I could. And as I'm getting coffee for Zach and Leandra, about 10 days after all this happened. So yes, it's a long process. It doesn't seem that long until you're in the middle of it. It feels forever. I'm getting coffee and I get a message from a YouTube person who has followed us a long time. Dat Son, thank you if you're watching this. Thank you so much. Sends me, he's like, hey man, someone's using your channel. It says Tesla. And I'm like, that channel was deleted after the day that it was up, and it shouldn't be up there anymore. It's gone. And I go click, and there it is, and it's under Highland Cycles. And then I go to my back end YouTube Studio, click, and bang, I'm in. I couldn't believe it. I was freaking out about it. I was losing my mind. I was so happy. So I came back home. I had to fix a ton of stuff. They changed the logos. They changed all my videos to private. They changed a ton of stuff. It's a nightmare. I'm actually still fixing some of it. I got it all sorted out, and here we are. We're back on YouTube, and I'm so happy to be back. It's a huge deal. So thank you to all the supporters. But let me tell you a little bit about things that I did and things that I'm hoping are going to help protect us in the future. First of all, when the channel got hacked, I realized immediately that they had access to my bank account, or at least Google has access to my bank account because they pay me for these videos, and I freaked out. So I went in, I changed the password on that. I went and I found everything that had anything to do with that email address, the Google email address that was my account, and I changed the passwords on all of it. I'm currently just writing it down. I am looking at LastPass or some of those. Maybe one of you guys could comment what the best password manager is, because I am going to have to use that because I can't handwrite all this stuff down forever. I've got it handwritten because I don't trust the computers or the internet right now. So that's my situation. I changed all that stuff as fast as I could. I didn't lose any money. Thank you, God, for that. And now what I've done is I've ordered from Google these physical verification keys. They're actual little like thumb drive looking things that you have to plug into the computer before you can log in to Google and then into YouTube therefore. So unless someone has one of those physical things, they literally can't get in. And now I'm sure that there's some hacker way up badass dude that can get in there. I don't think they're coming after my channel if they're that good at it. They're going after something way bigger than me. But I'm trying to do my best to protect all this stuff because I don't want to lose it again. Not only is YouTube a revenue stream for me now, and thank you all for that. I really appreciate that. It really does mean a lot that you guys watch these videos. But also it's my life's work, really. Okay, not my life's work. The shop is really my life's work, but YouTube has become a very important thing to me. It's become my creative outlet. It's my art gallery, right? It's all I've got. And the idea that it could just disappear like that was just heart-wrenching. The other thing is I do back up all the videos on hard drive, so I've got them all here, but to re-upload them, you lose all that momentum with YouTube and it's a nightmare. So that really wasn't probably gonna work. I mean, I could do it and I could restart the channel. I could gotten back up to monetization, all that stuff, but it would have been different and it would have been a lot harder. So if you have any questions, please comment below. Yes, I feel ridiculous that I even went down that scam channel. I pride myself on not doing that. I've never been scammed on anything else. So I guess my word of caution to all you guys out there who feel the same way, like, I'd never get scammed. Be careful. It happens. I was really, really careful. I thought I was not careful enough, obviously. I hope that explains it, guys. I hope that helps some of you maybe who have had that problem in the past. Thank you, Team YouTube on Twitter. I very much appreciate that. And I didn't even have a Twitter account before I started. So even if you don't have a Twitter account and you're experiencing the situation, go to Twitter, start an account, send the message. And they're verified. Obviously, this is not a fake thing. I'm not trying to scam you all. I'm trying to help. Also trying to explain what happened to the Highland Cycle channel there for a few days, guys. I apologize for being gone and having weird stuff posted on there. Shout out to YouTube. Honestly, though, they caught that channel within about 10 hours. They shut it down because they were breaking YouTube policies. So thank you, YouTube, for that. And when they shut them down, that kept them from doing anything stupid like holding it for ransom or deleting any videos or any of that stuff. I didn't lose any videos. They're all still there. You guys can find them now. Yeah, hope that's interesting, guys. I love you so much. Thank you all so much for helping us with this channel and for giving us support. It really does mean a lot. I love you. Hope you get out and spread the gospel, two wheels. And as always, I desperately hope that what we're doing here is inspiring you guys to work on, get out and ride your dirt bikes, and then also keep your internet safe, keep your YouTube safe, keep all that stuff safe, and keep these freaking hackers out of stuff. Thanks, guys.